Hey Vikas, since we've entered the state of emergency, we've been seeing a lot of different things in the tabloids and media outlets. People are hearing that the property values are going up. People are hearing that the values are going down. People are hearing that values are staying stable. There's a lot of information out there, and so naturally, um, owners of homes want to know what their homes are worth, and in fact,
Mhm.
if there is any equity in their homes. And they've been reaching out to agents in our office to obtain CMAs during the state of emergency. I know you've received a lot of inquiries like this. How have you been able to facilitate the CMAs at this time?
Yeah, absolutely. So as you know, like we're not in a state where it's business as usual, where we would walk into the customer's home with like our CMA printed out, a copy for them to go over the report, etc. The times are different, and we have to adapt with the time and the changes. So what I do now, I guess a lot of people in our office as well, what we're taking on is that we are connecting with our clients like how we are right now, virtually through like a Zoom meeting. We'll set up a time when it's good for both of us. We'll sit down, we'll connect via Zoom. I'll basically have them maybe walk through the property with me. This is
Oh
like as
wow!
if
So
I,
right on the phone, the client's going
yeah,
to walk through the property with you, so you can actually see it as though you're there, and then you kind of jump into that.
there
That's
you go.
amazing.
There you go. Exactly. So we want to base the reason why we want to do that is because we want to capture what maybe even the sellers liked about the property. It gives us a better idea, a little bit more, like I said, if you were to pull towards the seller, because now we could appreciate what is it they liked about the property, and maybe a few factors what they did not like about the property. And then we could obviously advertise those factors that they are trying to stand out. Oh, we recently just renovated our kitchen, the granite counters, etc. So we want to capture all the information as we can, walk through the whole property. The next step is basically what we would do. Obviously, we would connect them through virtually, and I would share my screen, go into our MLS database, and pull up any recent comparables. I want to look at from today's date to the last 400 days. A lot of times, people maybe will only want to look at the last couple of months to bring up their database, but we want to backtrack up to a year or more because they have to see how the market has changed also over time. And we're going to do this live, based one-on-one. So we're not bringing up numbers from like our backpack over here, right? Like we're literally, these are facts straight from the Toronto regional database, numbers right to them. We're going to look
Your
at
client's
the,
literally watching all of the stuff on your screen. So
there you
you're
go.
doing the CMA live. So they're literally watching you on your computer do the
There you go.
CMA. You're going through
Mhm.
things like the home price index to show the year over year appreciation,
Everything.
depreciation. That's
There you go.
incredible. And
Mhm.
so once you've gone through the data points, then the CMA is put together. And what are the final steps at that point? The client then knows what their home is worth. And at that point, are you finding a lot of people are listing with you, or are they more curious at this time and they're considering listing? What has the general feedback been with that?
So it's a good thing that you asked that because I actually have a listing coming up shortly. Actually, it's going to be in Ajax, Central West Ajax, and we did this exact same practices recently with my clients. So the next steps is obviously taking the precautions in mind that how we are going to move forward. Are we going to obviously go in obviously with all the health and concerns taking accounted for? We obviously want to do a walkthrough with obviously wear our masks, our gloves, etc. There are clients who are now more engaged and want to go to the next step forward. They know exactly now from beforehand, virtually as well, what the property is worth. Now they are willing to take our next step. Then we obviously would talk about marketing approach, which obviously is not going to be enough time for this video. So we obviously would talk about the next steps, our pricing strategy, etc.
Well, that's really great. I'm really excited that our agents have been able to help, especially you, during these interesting times. And to the viewers out there, we've said it time and time again. We've put out a lot of video content like this where we've told you that you can't just buy into everything you're seeing out there. There is a lot of information. You got to remember that what's being reported by a lot of the media outlets and tabloids is misinformation because they're trying to catch headlines and attention. If you need more information on what your home is worth, call Vikas. Whether you're looking to sell or not, he will zoom in with you. You'll do a walkthrough. We'll look at an assessment of what your property might be worth in real time. And at that point, it'll at least put to ease in terms of your expectation of what your home is worth. And if now's not the right time to sell, Vikas or any of our agents in house will tell you what you should be doing. But the goal at the end of the day is to make sure that you've got the right information so that you're not losing sight of what's going on. Ownership has been key. It's been a staple in our economy and everything else as far as home ownership is concerned. And I can tell you, based on my experience in the last 12 to 14 weeks, people that have owned versus rented have been in a far better position than people that have been renting.